Hello and welcome to the live stream. Tonight's going to be a little bit different one, simply because it's going to be, it's going to be a 5-hour live stream. This is going to be the longest one I've done. And the reason why it's that long is because I have something ambitious in mind. How ambitious? I'm going to be celebrating all the US time zones New Year's. So Happy New Year! You know, everyone is a Happy New Year to everyone. Make sure this goes out on everything and everywhere. And it went out on TwitFace. Yes, it should have gone out on TwitFace. Let's see, is anyone joining yet? That appears to be a no. Dang it, TwitFace. You had one job. One job. Hold on while I get TwitFace up and running. Put that in and tweet that out. Boom. That's supposed to be chapter 7? What? Huh? What is going on with that? YouTube, I told you, it's a Happy New Year stream. YouTube. What? No. There we go. Come on. Come on. Yeah, that's Changing the Guard live. Yeah, that's what's supposed to be, right? Participants, just me. Come on, where's all my peeps? Where's all the peeps from the Discords? Come on, you guys. Can't just leave me hanging like this. Is anyone in the Discord chat even on right now? Man. Did everyone go to bed early? It's New Year's. You stay up late, man. Well, that's why I started this stream, I guess, so early because our first time zone we're going to be doing is Eastern time zone, which starts in about a half hour or so. So let's just see how that goes. Let me just notify a couple of my friends here. As SpoopyCast. There we go. And there we go. V, you're supposed to be online. Come on, man. I can't just critique your book without you a part of it. Especially now that we're getting on with a fantastic portion of the story. The first words that Topaz ever says. I feel wrong starting this without anyone in the chat. Come on, every peeps. We need more liveliness in the chat. It's for a good cause, I swear. Seriously, where's all my peeps? I need all my peeps. YouTube, get out of my chat. I need I need actual people in my chat. It's starting now. It's starting already. Yeah, maybe this is why I'm doing this is a bad idea. I just thought more people would be awake now. It's New Year's. Everyone's up for New Year's, am I right? Am I right? But I might as well get this first little intro out of the way. Chain. There we go. Changeling of the Guard. Nope. I already have that. I already have that. Chapter 9. Polite Fictions. Chapter 9. Polite Fictions. Okay, that sounds good. That sounds good to me. Let's get this show on the road, shall we? Even though no one's here, let's get this show on the road. What do you mean by a tiny house? Oh well, I'll worry about that. I'll worry about that later. Oh man, this is going to a swimming start, isn't it? Just wonderful. Absolutely perfect. And as well, I'm also going to be celebrating 2019 in every time zone. That's going to be fun. That is going to be so much fun. And that's actually the reason why this is 5 hours. 4 hours long to celebrate celebrate all the time zones, and just a half-hour buffer before and after the last time zone. And hello, Aster. Welcome to the stream. That's good to have you. Let's hope people start coming in and having a good time. Watch me read and incorrectly flub every single word. Especially now that we have Topaz. Topaz is going to be a fun one. Topaz is going to be so much fun to do. Alert that Discord and that one. That's all the chords and the disses. Well, like I said, we're in chapter 9, Polite Fictions. The first chapter, Topaz actually says anything. She was in last chapter, but we actually did not hear her speak. And everyone missed it because I didn't really record it. But I cannot wait for Wednesday when the next one comes out, and you can all hear what fiery idol sounds like. Idolicorn. There's gotta be an easier way to say that. But I've waited long enough. Let's get this show on the road, shall we? If they want to join in, let them join in. If they don't want to, oh well, I might just end the stream early. Because, seriously, I did this for the New Year's, and everyone's like, oh my gosh, this sounds cool. And then no one's showing up. Come on, my peeps. Come on, we're doing this. Oop. That fell off. Okay, and that's good. I awoke to darkness, the press of cool earth on my head, only vaguely. What? Oh man, that's gonna be. Oh man, that didn't take that long for my first flub of the night. Yep. Why isn't that tighter? Vaguely, not vaguely. I awoke to darkness, the press of cool earth on my head, only vaguely able to make sense of any of this. This chamber had collapsed, apparently. The chamber had collapsed? This? Ah, okay. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, it is this. Although it just feels weird to have two of those right next to each other. I woke. Oh no. Not the crack. Anything but the crack. I awoke to darkness. My voice. Come on, my voice. Come on, my boy. My voice. Step up to game. I awoke to darkness, the press of cool earth on my head, only vaguely able to make sense of any of this. This chamber had collapsed, apparently. The queen would be displeased. Hopefully I could free myself. The soft grasp and a small wave of fear as I twitched my hooves uselessly in an attempt to get them under me brought things into a bit better focus. Oh my gosh. That's just a failure because I forgot to breathe. Why is this paragraph so long, V? Oh my gosh. I awoke to darkness, the press of cool earth on my head, only vaguely able to make sense of any of this. This chamber had collapsed, apparently. The queen would be displeased. Hopefully I could free myself. The soft gasp and a small wave of fear as I twitched my hooves uselessly in an attempt to get them under me brought things into a bit better focus, and I froze with pain and sudden clarity. Not the hive. I had been not the hive. Yep, that's the crack. There's the crack again. Not the hive. I had been banished. Not earth, but a wet piece of fabric. I had Ooh, that's 2 on the typo meter. Because no contractions. He's not a contraction. Oh, that's good. Is that not counting up? Come on. There we go. And I probably should let you see. There we go. 2 typos already. Ah, this is going to be good. Not the hive. I had been banished. Not earth, but a wet piece of fabric. I had apparently passed out again. Not the hive. I had been banished. Not earth, but a wet piece of fabric. I had apparently... I can't stop contracting for him. Not the hive. Man, what is with my voice today? It's just not... I curse you, voice. You weak, pitiful voice. I need you to work at full function. Not the hive. I had been banished. I had been banished. I had been banished. Not the hive. I had been banished. Not earth, but a wet piece of fabric. I had apparently passed out again. This was becoming a bad habit. I decided I should put to a stop. Anthony! Woo! Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I decided I passed out again. This was becoming a bad habit, I decided. I decided I should put a stop to it immediately. My energy levels were Queens, hooves, and horns, where were they? I was almost completely dry on everything. I'd have to find... contractions! The contractions return! I have way too much fun with this. Hopefully other people start joining the stream. Thank you for the two of you that have made it to the stream. Thank you so much. This was becoming a bad habit. I decided I should put a stop to it immediately. My energy levels were... Queens, hooves, and horns, where were they? I was almost completely dry. Ugh. No. No. And hello, Tyscope. Welcome to the stream. Welcome, welcome. And if you and Happy New Year. I'm going to be doing something fun this live stream. Hopefully if people find it interesting. Celebrating all 4 time zones in the US. But also, you get a sneak peek at... You get a behind-the-scenes look of my fanfic reading of Changeling of the Guards by VDrake77. So stick around. It's a great story. You'll love it. And if you want to see more of my stuff, it is... Let's see, is it down in the description? It should be down in the description. If it's not, I'm going to be sorely disappointed with myself for not making that clear. For not doing something like that. Which would be smart. Although I'm not smart. So, that could be a thing. And yay, people. I know, right? I was thinking I was just going to be talking to myself for 5 hours, which, I mean... Now, don't get me wrong, that sounds fun, but it's always so much greater with people. Okay, yeah, the story is down in the description. It's a great read. Really fun, wacky adventures with a changeling, with a very fun changeling. Now, this is Chapter 9, Polite Fictions, where we meet, not love interest. I should just say another member of the Omni ship that surrounds Idle Hooves. Bad habit. I decided I should put a stop to it immediately. My energy levels were... Queens, hooves, and horns, where were they? I was almost completely dry on everything. I would have to find somewhere to feed, quickly. If I could even draw a basic illusion, I'd be lucky. Oh, another typo! And it messed me up! And... Another contraction. Oh, man. Drake. V. Oh my gosh, my dude. You put so many in here. I would be done with this already. I decided I should put a stop to it immediately. My levels were... Queens, hooves, and horns, where were they? I was almost completely dry on everything. I would have to find somewhere to feed, quickly. If I could even draw a basic illusion, I would be lucky. A faint, nervous sound came from above me, and I tilted my head up blindly. Finally made it through. Whew. Oh... Absolutely. The contractions are out to get me. Now, if it was Topaz saying all those contractions, I would be fine. But Idle can't do contractions. Contractions are out to get me. The crack in my voice is always out to get me. Everything's just out to get me. Man. But Polite Fictions, this is going to be such a fun one because, yay, another character for me to voice. That's not Russian or somewhat vaguely inappropriate. Let's get to Topaz. Oh, can I even do Topaz's voice? I don't even know if I can do a good Topaz. My lord. Oh man. Me lord or my lord? Except my fans. My fans are not out to get me. Sometimes they are. Depends on the mood that they're in. Desk. Desk, habit, and V. Get those three into the chat, and things just everything just falls apart. It'll be great. It'll be so great. My lord. Is it? Ooh, my lord? Milord? I could do this so many ways. Me lord, are you okay? A vaguely Irish accent. I don't know why I want to do a vaguely Irish accent. It would just be fun. Oh man, that'd be so good. Oh, sorry, I'm barely getting anything across, but it's gonna be great fun. Great fun. Oh man. Let's go with both. Let's go with both fans. Although the fans on my computer, the spinning kind, are kind of out to get me in the, oh gosh, your quality is so poor right now because of how much background noise there are. And I can't silence them either because I need all that coolant. Hopefully I won't have to turn on my heater during this live stream, or else that's just it. That's just it. If I have to turn on my heater, I have to do something else other than read the story because I cannot. I cannot. My lord, are you okay? Lord? Hello, my name's Topaz. Oh man, vaguely Irish British. Vaguely Irish British. Should I do vaguely Irish British? Oh, this is getting funner and funner by the moment. This is gonna be so good. Ooh, Moth Chaser. I can't wait to do Moth Chaser. Oh man, that's for another time. But vaguely English is, I think, what I'm going to go for. Vaguely Irish English. Or English? English. Yeah, English. Let's go with English. Me lord, are you okay? Me lord, are you okay? Lord, was I still in the shape of that alicorn? I could not recall willing myself to leave it, but that oh, this is gonna be good. Yep, I'm going with vaguely Irish English for Topaz. Oh, this is gonna be good. This is gonna be really good. Oh yeah, flapping and spinning. The only way to get cool in this winter heat. Am I right? Am I right? Lord? Was I still in the shape of that alicorn? I could not recall willing myself to leave it, but that had not gone as I expected. Expected. Lord? Was I still in the shape of that alicorn? I could not recall willing myself to leave it, but that had not gone as I expected. Fear tore through me, and I was reduced to shuddering. That had not been me. It was as though it had been replaced by a vengeful power that was all too willing to throw itself into danger. I had no idea what I had been doing, and yet I had felt so certain of it. If I survived this weakness, Queen, my horn hurt. I probably just messed up so many times. Oh man, I messed up so many times in that few sentences that I had. There we go. I probably had. If I hadn't, oh well. Take 2 for the win. I wonder if there's a voice I can apply this to. Probably not. But it would be fun if there was. Although, this could be flim and flam. You have no idea what I'm going to pull from my vocal cords. You have no idea at all. So take this opportunity in this fair-in community. No, that's definitely not flim and flam. Thank you, one and all. I sound like an old Englishman. Or just an Englishman. They're all old, right? Lord? The return of the crack. No. Are you okay? Lord? Was I still in the shape of that Alec? Lord? 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 Hey, Jamie, how's it going? Oh, man, hopefully my antics are entertaining. Welcome to the stream. Lord, was I still in the shape of that alicorn? I could not recall willing myself to leave it, but that had not gone as I expected. Fear tore through me, and I was reduced to shuddering. That had not been me. It was as though I had been replaced by a vengeful power that was all too willing to throw itself into danger. Tell me the history of your people. It was a long time ago, in a galaxy very near to here, that we began our journey. This is going to be the end of the live stream. I'm going to pull that out at the end of the live stream. Long, long ago, at this very spot, there was once a live stream that went on for 5 hours. We have no idea why it went on for 5 hours. But except for a crazy man did it. Who was that crazy man? Why, that was me, by Jove. It was a very fun time. Oh man, that would make a good Dumbledore, wouldn't it? A very energetic old man. Oh man, and Happy New Year for everyone on the East Coast. That was all too sudden. But Happy New Year to everyone on the Eastern... in the Eastern time zone. I'm going to enjoy a little bit. I'm going to open some of my Martinellis to celebrate with all of you who came out on the East Coast. Don't worry, other time zones. You're going to get your own soon. Oh, that's a problem. Hold on, I'll be right back. I need a bottle opener. I have one. Hold on, just a quick second. Hey, headphones! Yeah, kid. Oh no, that's not good. Not good at all. Well, this isn't going exactly how I planned, because I forgot I needed a bottle opener. Where did I hide one? I had one. Don't even have a Swiss Army knife? What kind of vaguely British old man am I if I don't have a Swiss Army knife? Oh, this will do. This better do, or else I have no idea what I'm going to do with this bit. There. Get this back over. Okay, there we go. Let's see, is this going to open? Please sit. No. Oh. It's... Oh no. Come on, don't open. I can't disappoint the live stream like this. I had a nice pony one, all picked out and whatnot, and I can't even get it open. Oh my gosh. Ew. That's not good. Let's see. Can I open it now? No, that's not the bottle opener. Man, I haven't opened... Oh, crap. This Swiss Army knife. I haven't opened this in ages. Come on. Ah, there we go. There we go. That's... Happy New Year to everyone. Oh, man. That went very poorly, but... oh, well, we're going to keep on keeping on. Oh, my gosh. I suppose I should have launched it at midnight, but that didn't really turn it. Where am I going to put this open bottle now? Nightstand. There we go. Say, don't tip over. Don't. Okay, thank you. I opened it. New feat of the new year. Oh, come on. You gotta be... My headphone cord is tangled in my chair. There we go. This did not go as smoothly as I wanted it to. Hey, everyone's here now. Ah! My chair lost a wheel. Oh no. There we go, I'm not going to tip over. Yeah, Happy New Year. Success, I finally poured myself something to drink. Delicious. Okay. Oh man. That went wrong in almost every way it could have gone. Oh man. Yeah, everyone's part of everyone. Oh. We survived 2018. Here's hoping 2019's better. Okay. Oh man, that went about as wrong as it could have gone. Oh man. Okay. Ooh. Okay, that was for everyone on the East Coast. Thank you for joining us. Now it's just going to be another hour until we can celebrate to everyone in the Central Time Zone. So all my bros in Central, we're getting to you. And then to Mountain, then Pacific afterward. I don't know why I'm going to this voice, but it sounds very, very wonderful. Tea and crumpets and whatnot. Boo. Booyah. I know. I'm still 2 hours away. Yay, Mountain Time! Woo! Mountain Time bros for life. Okay. Oh, man. Thank you all for joining. Thank you. And yes, Topaz is talking and going with vaguely Irish English because that line just demands for it. I do need a virtual monocle and a mustache. Like a very proper English mustache, you know? I know, it's very cold here. It's supposed to get down to 6 tonight, and I'm going to die. Especially if I have to keep my heater off for this live stream. Like it's 18. Let's see, it's like 18 right now. Yeah, it's 18 right now. Oh man, it's 18 degrees. Whew, that's cold. Oh boy. Okay, here we go. On to the next bit, shall we? Yeah, 18 degrees up here in northern Utah. Woo! Oh, man. It's just so cold. It's so cold. That's coming from me. I'm a natural heater. I don't get cold often, but when I do, it's cold. See you in a bit, Aster. Okay, let's get back into the swing of things. That celebration went on for a little bit longer than I thought it was going to. Let's get back into the show. Maybe having a carbonated drink wasn't the best idea, but oh well. Martinelli's. Thank goodness. We are not hashtag not sponsored, but thank you, Martinelli's, for providing non-alcoholic drinks for us to also engage in the new year. Okay, let's keep on going. Keep on keeping on. And I say what? I had no idea what I had been doing, and yet I felt so certain of it. If I survived this weakness, Queen, my horn hurt. Did I actually have a flaming mane? What ludicrous fool had thought that would be a good idea in the first place? The rest of me just felt a sort of pained numbness, as though I had been carrying particularly heavy loads without stopping until my body had failed. Oh, is that another contraction? This must be a new record. Yes, it snowed. We have about 6 inches right now. It's fun. So much fun. My stomach rumbled, because obviously I couldn't be... My stomach rumbled, because obviously I couldn't be Ah! Haha! Another contraction! Man, that typo count is going to break double digits before we even get into the third paragraph, I swear. My stomach rumbled, because obviously I could not simply be emotionally starved and too weary to move. The very concept of chewing food had to feel like an insurmountable challenge. Something bumped into my face, and a drop of water splashed onto my muzzle. The piece of fabric was lifted from my eyes, and I got a glimpse of my captor. I know, right? That'd be so much fun. I guess we'll just have to deal with the typo counter. 7 typos in 2 paragraphs. It's an Academy record. That must be an Academy record. I can't do Spitfire's voice. Oh gosh, that would... Oh man, that would be way too difficult for me. It was the Pegasus from before, her coat a yellowish orange. It was the Pegasus from before, her coat a yellowish... I thought I caught up something else that wasn't supposed to be. Hello, Mason, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. Oh no, that's right, Spitfire shows up later in the story. No! I know, she's coming. Oh man, it's just going to be so bad. I can't even do Rainbow Dash yet, and let alone Daring Do. Oh man, this is going to be fun. This is going to be so much fun. I don't know, should I just make Spitfire a guy? Oh, what ho, good sir? And what say you that we shall be done with such and such on such and such shorts of day? I don't know, I just feel like a character needs to have that accent now. It's just too good not to. It's just too good not to. Oh man. It was the Pegasus from before, her coat a yellowish orange, almost golden, with a mane of very light green. She startled. She startled? Shouldn't it be started? She started as my vision focused on her. I never heard of she startled before, but that could be the right way to say that. Chat, what say you? Because, like, seriously, because, like, for me, it could go either way. It could not, could so, I don't know. I'm not a grammar student or anything. It just doesn't sound right. I mean, startled is easy enough than started. It's just she was startled. Like I know it could be either. It was easy to sound, but just didn't like sound right. I mean, it is right, but just didn't sound right the first read through. Again, I make no attempts to be like I know how to English. I barely know how to English, and yet I'm somehow the proofreader for the later chapters of the story. I don't know how. It just happens. Oh man, speaking of authorial backsass counter, wait until you see the cover art that I have for the stream. I might actually be, after I finish with this chapter, I might start vectoring that out because I think you'll get a laugh out of it. Really, it explains our relationship. Just explains just how we go our back and forth so well. It was the Pegasus from before. Her coat a yellowish orange, almost golden, with a mane of oh, another typo. Aha! I got it. I got it again. Yeah, I know. For a lot of other people, they've already been waiting a year for this chapter. It's going to be so long. I can't believe I caught that. That was beautiful. It was the pig. It was beautiful. Oh man, no. I've been trained to actually see stuff like that. Taking Mysteries of Science, the best class, even though everyone's just going to be like, that's not a real science class. It is. Hearing about how the Loch Ness Monster is an actual real creature was very interesting and very applicable towards my daily life. Also, Ghost was just stunning. Don't forget, and I can't forget about the aliens courses. I mean, seriously. It was all just so much fun. It was the Pegasus from before. Her coat was a yellowish orange, almost golden, with a mane of a very light green. She startled as my vision focused on her, Yeah, well. It was the Pegasus from before. Her coat was a yellowish orange, almost golden, with a mane of a very light green. She startled as my vision focused on her, and murmured in a voice almost too quiet to hear. Would you like a drink? Yes, I'm going to do vaguely British for Topaz. I wasn't planning on it. It's just going to happen. It's just going to be like that. She's going to be vaguely British. Would you care for a cup? I've been giving you water for the past 3 days. And there's soup and biscuits. Don't forget tea. We love our tea. Doesn't that sound just like the Canterlot? Like a Canterlot accent. It's just vaguely British. While Trottingham is British. Would you like a drink? I've been giving you water for the past 3 days. And the soup. She tilted the misshapen bowl, one of my own, towards me, showing me the fluid within. I tried to speak, failed, and could only nod my head with the most pathetic of motions. I was able to hold my jaw open as she poured the deliciously cool water in, letting me drink it with greedy, shameful little slurps until the bowl was empty. Yeah, that is definitely going to be the Topaz voice. That's going to be great. And I might have a little surprise in store for everyone. I'm starting on 2 new projects. One of them is another audiobook, which I'm hoping to release in concert with this book. Maybe, maybe not. Depends on how it goes. And something to maybe help me, and maybe something to help me get be able to do this more often. I might as well just tell you now, since pretty much some of you have guessed it, I'm going to be opening a Patreon. I know it might seem a little weird to open a Patreon, but it'll be able to allow me to do these, to not have to rely on my current job so much for money, and this would be a great way to help support me as well. And plus, you get cool rewards like joining me in a voice channel on Discord for the stream, as well as on the upper levels, you can select what's the next book I'm going to read. And yeah, and it'll be all great. And there's a few other ones I haven't really worked out the kinks to yet, but this is going to be coming out hopefully by the end of January. If not, it will get out when it gets out, but hopefully it's not too weird. I'm opening up a Patreon after only like 8 chapters of this book. But if you want me to do more, maybe even release 2 a week, this is a way to do it. What is this? A Reddit page? Oh gosh. Oh, that's terrifying. That is so terrifying. And probably very accurate. I've seen that picture on the right so many times. Where is that from? That was like on a clickbaity thumbnail for like 10 hidden rooms that should have never been opened or something like that. It was crazy. Odd that. But yeah, going to be doing that in hopefully the upcoming next few weeks. And like I said, I'm going to be doing another project in the upcoming future. And as much as I would love it to be, it is not respite. I cannot do respite because it is mainly about foals, and I can barely do alternate adult voices. So I'm going to pick something else, and maybe eventually I'll get to respite. Maybe. But it's not going to be respite. I almost 100% promise it's not going to be respite. And yeah, we're only 40 minutes away from the next time zone celebration. So I get that music pop. I really should have finished that other title card. But then what do the adults sound like? Who they just sound like grandpappies throughout the entire time? Because that would be fine. That would be really fine with me. Or they just maybe sound like other adults. Respite is on the table, but it is highly unlikely that I'm going to be doing a reading of Respite. Mostly because That is a ton of characters to voice. That is so many characters to keep a voice. Not 100% sure, but it's very unlikely that it's not going to be that's not going to be a thing. Also, another Patreon reward I'm going to, which may or may not change, is that you can write a short story and I'll just live stream it and post a video on it, such as stories along the lines of Idle Hooves versus the Dread Train. Stuff like that, no more than 1,000, 1,500 max words. Wop, 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 wop. Oh man, that would get annoying so quickly. Especially when that gets so annoying so quickly. Oh, that was the wrong glass to drink out of. It's not party time. That's the right glass to drink out of. Odd that the poorly formed edge had served a purpose. Odd that the poorly formed edge had served a purpose. Man, it's just going to be me talking for most of the live stream, and I'll still only get through half of this chapter. Odd that the poorly formed edge had served a purpose. I would keep the little spout in mind. Whew. That was rough. That was so rough. With greedy, shameful little slurps until the bowl was empty. Odd that the poorly formed edge had served a purpose. I would keep the little spout in mind for future endeavors. She brought me... That's how it works. That's how what works. That forgetful dust. You just sprinkle it on and they forget. And that's how it works. And that's how what works. Oh man. I wonder if the elevator pitch for that movie is just The Rock in a pink tutu. Sold. Might not be the best movie, but it was still a pretty good movie. I was entertained by it when it came out, so I was probably 10 or 12 or so. I can't remember. That was so long ago. For any of you that don't know what it is, find out. And you can be a master. Odd that the poorly formed edge had served a purpose. I would keep the little... Odd that the poorly formed edge had served a purpose. I would keep the little spout in mind for future endeavors. She brought me another until I felt a modicum? It's one of those words that you know how to pronounce it in your head, but you don't know how to pronounce it in real life. You know, everyone has those words, right? I'm not crazy, I swear.
Modicum.
Okay, I was right. Modicum. Boom. Yep, modicum. Yep, I got it right first time through, but oh my gosh, that was weird. English is such a weird language. It's so strange. Odd that the poorly formed edge had served a purpose. I would keep the little spout in mind for future endeavors. She brought me another until I felt a modicum of strength returning. I was able to request. So, I know, so close! So close. I'm just going to be spending like... Why is this sentence so long? Okay, it's 2 sentences, but why is it so long? Curse you, Drake! Odd that the poorly formed edge had served a purpose. I would have to keep the... Just like... Yes, oh my gosh. These 2 sentences are going to be the death of me. Odd that the poorly formed edge had served a purpose. I would keep the little spout in mind for future endeavors. She brought me another until I felt a modicum of strength returning, and was able to request food in a monosyllabic. What? What?
Monosyllabic.
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 Okay. Monosyllabic. According to Google. Okay, thank you, Google. That's gonna be easy to say. It's gonna be so easy. Monosyllabic. Oh my gosh. Why? Why? Odd that the poorly formed edge had served a purpose. I would keep the little spout in mind for future endeavors. She brought me another until I felt a modicum of strength returning and was able to... Oh man, that was a bad read. I know, we're all learning words. Learning words with the Equinox. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Odd that the poorly formed edge had served a purpose. I would keep the little spout in mind for future endeavors. She brought me another until I felt a modicum of strength returning, and was able to request food in a monosyllabic breath. The soup was a little more than broth, chunks of soggy bread, and some small soft bits in it that I was easily able to make manageable without chewing. Oh, that last sentence. The soup was a little more than broth, chunks... Yeah, I'm going to redo that one. That was bad. That was so bad. The soup was little more than broth, chunks of soggy bread, and some small soft bits in it that I was easily able to make manageable without chewing. It was the single most wonderful meal that I have ever tasted. What am I? Is this Irish? Or is this Sean Connery? I cannot tell. Let's keep going, shall we? The soup was little more than broth. That was weird. The soup was little more than broth, chunks of soggy bread, and some small soft bits in it that I was easily able to make manageable without chewing. It was the single most wonderful meal that I can recall. Why am I having word with meal? What did I just say? I can't. What was that? Oh man, this is gonna be fun. The soup was little more than broth, chunks of soggy bread, and some small soft bits in it that I was able... Welcome back to Schoolhouse Rock Feet Equinox. Yep, I'm just a bill. Yes, I'm only a bill. And I'm sitting here on Capitol Hill, hoping one day they'll make me be alive. Oh, I hope and pray that they will. But today I'm still just a bill. They signed you, Bill. Now you're a law. Oh, yeah. No, I don't know. The soup was little more than broth, chunks of soggy bread, and some small soft bits in it that I was easily able to make manageable without chewing. It was the single most wonderful meal that I can recall having since leaving the hive. It was hot, it was nourishing, and it was actually quite good besides. I managed 2 more bowls of that, feeling the warmth flow through me, and slowly restoring feeling into my limbs. A mixed blessing, to be sure. There were ponies who did that routinely. I hurt. I was reasonably certain I had slammed my own body into the manticores, and that seemed exceptionally stupid in hindsight. Oh my gosh. Let's throw this evil paragraph. You are thrown away. Do not make a reappearance. And don't you do anything to make that reappearance easier. I'm watching you, V. I'm always watching, V. Always watching. I'm always watching, V. Always watching. I don't even know if that's a good voice, but oh well, that's that's good. That's as best Ma's voice I can do. If yeah, Maz. That's the right name. I'm sorry if that's not what you're used to, Your Majesty, sir. I didn't know if you could eat anything else, and all that I had was some rice and some of the food someone had been keeping in this little cave. I didn't even read half of that sentence. I didn't even read half of that. I'm sorry if that's not what you're used to, Your Majesty, sir. I didn't know if you could eat anything else, and all I had was some rice and some of the food someone had been keeping in this little cave. Ah, so there went my food storage, apparently. What was this pony going on about? Perhaps I was weaker than I realized. I cleared my throat, swallowing the very last of my offered soup with some remorse. Breathless rambling is easier the first take. But, yeah, I mean, it is very fun. Like when I did Delirious did Delirious Idol a few chapters back, that was so much fun. It was so much fun. It was brilliant. I was brilliant and thirsty. Very, very thirsty. I think I should check out that cloud one more time. And that was the last thing I remember before the sandstorm struck. That's not used to, Your Majesty, sir. I didn't know if you could eat anything else, and all I had was some rice and some of the food someone had been keeping in this little cave. Whew. Oh no, I'm going to have to do Tired Idol again. I thought I was done with this the first time we got knocked unconscious. What happened? What happened? What happened? Is the manticore gone? What happened? Is the manticore gone? Okay, he's going to be slightly British as well. I can't get rid of the slightly British. The mare nodded slowly, hobbling over to a pot over a small fire. At the edge of the newly expanded mouth of my cavern, I noted, and stirred it quickly, mumbling something about potatoes burning under her breath and getting it together. She wrapped me... Slightly Brit. That is my accent for most of these new roles. Slightly Brit. The mare nodded slowly, hobbling over to a pot over by a small fire. The mare nodded slowly, hobbling over to a pot over a small fire at the edge of the newly expanded... I got that right, but then I stopped. Oh no, this is gonna keep on happening. The mare nodded slowly, hobbling over to a pot over a small fire. At the edge of the newly expanded mouth of my cavern, I noted, and stirred it quickly, mumbling something about potatoes burning under her breath and getting it together. She wrapped more of the fabric around herself, bandaging one wing, and covering several places where the manticore's claws had apparently scoured her coat. Yep, it's not supposed to be scoured. It's because, yeah. Yep. I'm right in this. It's not scoured. It is not scoured. Maybe pierced, where the manticore's claws had apparently pierced her coat. Because scoured refers to cleaning something or looking for something. Yep. It's not scoured, which means scuffed. I mean, if she's bandaging it, maybe pierced would be a little bit better. I don't know. Maybe scuffed. I mean, that could work if they're not bleeding too badly, then yeah, let's go with scuffed. Let's go with scuffed. But before I do with scuffed, yay. I take great pride in that. But now I have to start all of this over, which why couldn't I have seen that before I did all this? The mayor nodded slowly, hobbling over to a pot over a small fire at the edge of them. I know. I'm so glad I found that sound effect. The mayor nodded slowly, hobbling over to a pot over a small fire at the edge of the newly expanded mouth of my cavern, I noted, and stirred it quickly, mumbling something about potatoes burning under her breath and getting it together. She rapped. Oh. Contraction! Contraction! Ha ha! Ha ha! I haven't been keeping track of any of these corrections. Oh no. Ah, man. Those typos I've been finding, it's going to be so hard for me to track all those down. The mayor nodded slowly, hobbling over to a pot over a small fire at the edge of the newly expanded mouth of my cavern, I noted, and stirred it quickly, mumbling something about potatoes burning under her breath and getting it together. She had wrapped more of the fabric around herself, bandaging one wing and covering several places where the manticore's claws had apparently scuffed her coat. Had apparently scuffed her coat. Had apparently scuffed. No. Had apparently scuffed her coat. And covering several places where the manticore's claws had apparently scuffed her coat. Okay, I'll take that. Actually, no. I'm better than that. I won't do it this halfway. The mayor nodded slowly, hobbling over to a spot over a small fire at the edge of the newly expanded mouth of my cavern, I noted, and stirred it quickly, mumbling something about potatoes burning under her breath and getting it together. She had wrapped more of the fabric around herself, bandaging one wing and covering several places where the manticore's claws had apparently scuffed her coat. Whew. Ah. Ah, man. There we go. My stare must have seemed appropriately stoic. It is always appropriately stoic. Well, my tea is cold now. Oh well. But we have 20 minutes until the new year. And that's going to be fun. Okay. More slightly Brit. I love slightly Brit. Yes, sir, you, chased it off. I was trying to make a show of dominance at you, and then you slammed it into the wall. Before you chased it off, it started to show submission, and you took an appropriately aggressive stance. I'm pretty sure it recognizes this as your territory now. My stare must have seemed appropriately stoic, or perhaps baffled, because she continued in a rush. Oh man, that is his stare. That is how he looks all the time. Don't worry. Don't worry about it. They do dominance shows. They're not like big cats, exactly. They'll try and scare them off first. That was a male from further south. It was trying to claim new territory. It's been stalking another pride for a few weeks now. Maybe this will make it think twice. I cut myself off. No! Not British enough. Not slightly British enough. They do dominance shows. They're not like big cats exactly. They'll try and scare them off first. That was a male from further south. It was trying to claim new territory. It's been sucking another pride for a few weeks now. Maybe this will make it think twice. I continue to stare at her. Oh, wait, before I go on to the next one, how do I pronounce this word? Just to be sure.
Entomologist. Entomologist.
Entomologist. The word of the week is entomologist. I'm an entomologist in I'm an entomologist in training. I'm not going to make her Russian too. No, she's not going to be British and Russian. No. I'm an entomologist in training on grant from GSG. Ugh. I'm an entomologist in training on grant from CSGU. I've been studying for 2 or 3 months now. Studying them up close. I mean, I've been researching them for years. Oh, I didn't cut myself off. Oh my gosh, that was close. Why was it chasing you? Why was it chasing you, good ma'am? Madame. Ma'am. Why was it chasing you? Why was it chasing you? No. Why was it chasing you? Why was it chasing you? How did I do idle before? Why was it chasing you? No, I'm not going to mumble. Why was it chasing you? A faint, almost manic giggle escaped her. That's how most of this live stream has been, right? Just me manically giggling, I guess. Oh gosh. Oh no. Oh no. That is very long. That is very long indeed. Very, very, quite long. Quite long. Oh, I'm not going to do a manic giggle. Oh, no. She poked it with a big stick. And she threw some spices in its face, and it was not happy about it. Yes. Yes, that is the true answer. Keck. Well, when they start doing dominant shows, they sometimes start by killing a cub of the current alpha. It proves the old alpha can't protect their pride. Others, it stands down sometimes, lets the alpha sort it out. Only this one wouldn't stay to fight when the alpha challenged him. He'd run away. He's a little on the smallish side. Well, it would come back, kill another cub, get chased off again, and again, and again. He's tried to pick fights with 3 other prides, and it just keeps killing their cubs. It was starting to get a little disgusting. It was very hard to study the lives of prides with a rogue male killing cubs wantingly, which is not something they typically do. So I decided to spray it with some manticore repellent I've been working on. This is almost like Planet Earth type of deal. When they start showing dominance, sometimes they start by killing a cub of the current alpha. It proves the old alpha can't protect their pride. The others stand down, sometimes let the alpha sort it out. Only this one wouldn't stay to fight when the alpha challenged him. I can't do that Planet Earth. Well, when they start dominant shows, they sometimes start by killing a cub of the current alpha. It proves the old alpha can't protect their pride. The others stand down sometimes, let the alpha sort it out. Only this one wouldn't stay to fight when the alpha challenged him. He'd run away. He's a little on the smaller side. Well, it wouldn't come to... She lost the will to live. That's it, I'll kill you. Okay, no more references to other YouTube channels. Oh man, this has been getting ridiculous. This is fun. It has been fun and ridiculous. Hey, we're up to 8 people. Welcome welcome everyone to the stream. Ooh. Well, when they start dominant shows, they sometimes start by killing the cub of the current alpha. Of the current alpha! It's so brilliant. It's so brilliant sometimes. Well, when they start dominant shows... No, I'm not going to do the old band crackle. When they start dominant shows, they sometimes start by killing a cub of the current alpha. It proves the old alpha can't protect their pride. The others stand down sometimes, let the alpha sort it out. Only this one wouldn't stay to fight when the alpha challenged him. He'd run away. He's a little on the smallish side. Well, it would come back, kill another cub, get chased off again, and again, and again. It's tried to pick fights with 3 other prides. It just keeps killing their cubs. And it started to get a little disturbing, and it was very hard to study the lives of the prides with a rogue male killing cubs wantingly, which is not something they typically do, so I decided to spray it with some manticore repellent I've been working on. The current alpha. The current alpha, that's exactly what I mean. Well, when they start dominant shows, they sometimes start by killing a cub of the current alpha. That's how you say it. Don't make me do... Here she flushed, becoming... Here she flushed, becoming embarrassed but not ashamed. Bum 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 ba-dum 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 bum. Ba-da-dum bum ba-da-dum bum ba-da-dum bum ba-da-dum. Ba-da-dum. 10 more minutes till the new year. 10 more minutes till the new year. It was killing all the cubs. I'd already assigned them all names, and there were only 2 left between all 3 prides. He started going after Skippy and Hops, and I couldn't just let him, so I flew down, and I dropped the repellent on him. Only, it didn't really work. Skippy and Hops freaked out and ran, but he started tearing up the bag and everything around it, and, well, then he followed the scent back to me. I guess it's not so much as it acts as a repellent, as they find it repellent, meaning they hate it. It was killing all the cubs. I'd already assigned... Nope, that's not the voice I assigned. It was killing all the cubs. Ugh. It was killing all the cubs. It was killing all the cubs. It was killing all the cubs. I'd already assigned them all names, and there were only 2 cubs left, but not... Man, I wonder if she's going to bet on the Cubs next year. It was killing all the cubs. I'd already assigned them all names, and there were only 2 left between all 3 prides. And he started going after Skippy and Hops, and I couldn't just let him, so I flew down and dropped the repellent on him. Only, it didn't really work. Skippy and Hops freaked out and ran, but he started tearing up the bag and everything around it, and, well, then he followed the scent back to me. I guess it's not so much that it acts as a repellent, as they find it repellent, meaning they hate it. Yay, someone got it. She laughs again, looking wild. Back to the drawing board for that. back to the drawing board for that. Ah, man, I'm having so much fun with rambling Topaz is the best. She swallows noisily, looking distinctly ill. She swallows noisily, looking distinctly ill. He would have killed me. It was actually going to kill me. Here, she went silent, staring at nothing, though her mouth moved slightly. Can we get more rambling Topaz? It's the best. Hey, Desk isn't here. I have to make up for his puns somehow. Come on. I stared at her. These wild, emotional outbursts were deeply concerning. I stared at her. These wild, emotional outbursts were deeply concerning. One minute she was proud, the next terrified, then joyous, then embarrassed. I could not complain, as I was sucking up every bit of it I could, but I was rapidly Oh, man. I stared at her. These wild emotional outbursts were deeply concerning. One minute she was proud, the next terrified, then joyous, then embarrassed. I could not complain, as I was sucking up... Yeah, it wasn't. It didn't flow very well. Don't worry, I'm going to... I stared at her. These wild emotional outbursts were deeply concerning. One minute she was proud, the next terrified, then joyous, then embarrassed. I could not complain. It's this line break. Move slightly. I stared at her. These wild emotional outbursts were deeply concerning. One minute she was proud, the next terrified, then joyous, then embarrassed. I could not complain, as I was sucking up every bit of it I could, but I was rapidly wondering if this was a regular pony's reaction to coming so near to death. The sudden wave of gratitude almost knocked me over as I shuffled to a sitting position, testing the little strength I had managed to recover. Ha! Another contraction! Ah, my ear. Hello and welcome, Christy. Welcome, 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 welcome. And then you saved me. You ran right into it. And then you saved me. You ran right into it. And you... She put a hoof to my chest, over my heart. You fought through whatever the curse they put on you. Ooh. Yeah, absolutely. That's a good one. That's a good resolution to have. 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes till the Central New Year. You fought through whatever curse they put on you, and you saved me. That was a bad one. And you fought through whatever curse they put on you, and you saved me. Ah, this emotion was familiar. Love was very complex, but lust was... Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. I cut myself off. Not again. Not again. Ah, this emotion was familiar. Love was very complex, but lust was... Oh dear. I assure you, ma'am. Topaz. My name is Topaz. You can call me Topaz if you want. And you're, Prince... Excuse me? Prince? Excuse me? Prince? Oh, Celeste, forgive me. I thought you were... you're a king. I didn't mean any disrespect. I didn't know. I just thought... I don't know what your title is. She gave a desperate little laugh, concern racing through her. With all this enchantment or curse or whatever it is, it's hard to tell, but... I might be behind on my chat. No, that chat is accurate. Don't worry if there's a little delay. There's always like a 10-second delay, 30-second delay between what I say and what the chat puts out. So yay! It's as close as we can get it. Wait, you only have 200? I have around 800. I think I might have even more because I found damages profile, so I have even more stories to read now. That's gonna be that's great. With all this enchantment, I added some words. Yeah, I haven't read any of them yet, but they just look great. What interests me was I don't know what story there. She mentioned in the chat where one of the stories was where Big Mac is becoming a siren, and I don't know which one it is. Because I love the sirens as characters, and I want more sirens. They're just so good. With this enchantment or curse or whatever it is, it's hard to tell, but... Wait. Stop. That's no good. Oh, we're in the last minute. Where's the countdown? 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year to everyone in the Central Time Zone. Woo! Happy New Year. See you in a bit, Dog Karma. Woo! Happy New Year. Let's get this back out. Woo! Woo! This round went a lot better than the first New Year's. Oh man, I didn't have to open a bottle for the first New Year's. I swear my chair's going to fall over. Oh man, thanks for everyone that's sticking with me throughout this entire thing. It's good. It's so good. And cheers to everyone who's still here, and cheers to everyone having a happy New Year. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to my bro Josh. Okay, whew. Central, man, we're getting closer. Just one more hour, and then finally, the mountains get their just reward. Hopefully, a new year where things don't suck. Am I right? Am I right, everyone? Whew. Okay. Not as long as a celebration as the first one, but whew, that's a celebration right there. Well, I didn't have to go and find a cork or whatnot. But celebrate good times, come on. Do 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 do. Yeah. Okay. This is great. This is great. I'm so glad I went through with this idea. I was like, Up until like an hour beforehand, I was still flip-flopping on whether I was going to do this or not. I'm like, I need to do at least one live stream this week, and why not a mega one? Am I right? Am I right, guys? Yeah. Okay, let's get back. Where was I? Hard to tell, but there we go. Wait, stop. Oh, man, that man, Martinelli has just destroyed my voice. This is great. This is so much fun. And I might actually get through 2 chapters tonight. Maybe. Possibly. No idea. Wait. Stop. Sorry about that. Changeling of the guard. There we go. There we go. Here's Idle's voice. Wait. Stop. I raised a hoof. I cannot follow this conversation. I am perplexed, and I do not like it. And I do not like it. Wait, stop. I raised a hoof. I cannot follow this conversation. I am perplexed, and I do not like it. She took a few steps backwards away from me. Oh, well, I'm pretty sure someone... Oh, well, I'm pretty sure someone of your stature has had this sort of thing happen to you plenty of times, being, you know, royalty and having to deal with us regular pony folk. Oh, well, I'm sure someone of your stature has had this sort of thing happen to you before. No, she is not going to go hiking. I refuse. Oh, well, I'm sure someone of your stature has had this sort of thing happen to you plenty of times, being, you know, royalty and having to deal with us regular pony folk. She licked her lips, eyes darting about. I stared. Was this mare mad? What would make you think that I am royalty? What would make you think that... What would make you think that I'm royalty? Nah. Not disbelieving enough. What would make you think that I'm royalty? Nah. What would make you think that I'm royalty? This was not appropriate. This was not appropriate at all. I was a drone. Drones do not become royalty. They do not let others mistake them for royalty. Only the queen is royalty. The queen leads. Now it was her turn to stare, apparently. You're an alicorn. Of course you're royalty, sir. Now it was her turn to stare, apparently. You're an alicorn. Of course you're royalty, sir. You are an alicorn. You are an alicorn. Of course you're royalty. You're an alicorn. You're an alicorn. An alicorn. 2019, Nalicorn. You're an alicorn. Of course you're royalty, sir. I gestured at my gray kite and at my blue eyes, the holes in my legs and horn, trying to and failing to come up with proper words to express my confusion at her logical leaps. Oh man, it's just all so much fun. She placed a hoof against my chest again, sorrow radiating off of her. I don't know who placed this sort of... wicked enchantment on you, but I swear I'll do everything in my power to help you lift it. Wicked enchantment? Who would do such a thing? Why would any pony do such a thing? Who would do such a thing? I think you just have emphasis on the wrong words here. Not technically a typo, but maybe not on would. Who would do such a thing? Why would any pony do such a thing? Maybe just emphasis on who? Like, who would do such? No, maybe do? Maybe shift it over on do? Either or. Who would do such a thing? Why would any pony such a wicked enchantment? Who would do such a thing? Why would any pony do such a thing? Wicked enchantment? Who would do such a thing? Why would any pony do such a thing? I know it's a weird thing which word to put an emphasis on, but who would do such a thing? 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 And who would do such a thing? Who would do such a thing? Yeah. Bing! Wicked enchantment? Who would do such a thing? Why would any pony do such a thing? Who would do such a thing? Well, yes, sea ponies and some things just seem to enjoy making people... Oh, some ponies, not sea ponies. We're not going to get the shoo-be-doo, shoo-shoo-be-doo. That's the kind of do everyone likes, huh? The shoo-be-doo. Oh, man. This is great. This is so great. Well, yes, some ponies and some things just seem to enjoy making others miserable. I figure you must have had run afoul of some magic user that tried to change you into something monstrous, but your good heart fights against the enchantment, and you're able to shake off the effects, if only for the briefest of times. Hope beat off against me, fierce pride in my apparent accomplishment of fighting off some bizarre alleged curse. I could feed this and feed upon it, but no, this was too much, and I would require assistance to fully recover, and pretending to be royalty for more than a moment. What happened there? What? A moment. Oh no. And pretending to be royalty for more than a moment, let alone trying to be an alicorn again, frightened me. I'm terribly sorry. I truly am, but this is not so. I am terribly sorry. Truly I am, but this is not so. Her voice became small, frightened, like that of a lost hatchling. What? My lord, maybe it's my turn to be perplexed? And What? My lord, maybe it's my turn to be perplexed? I cut myself off again. What? Me lord, maybe it's my turn to be perplexed. What? Me lord, maybe it's my turn to be perplexed. Perplexed. What? Me lord, maybe it's my turn to be perplexed. What? Me lord, maybe it's my turn to be perplexed. I am under no curse to my knowledge. The alicorn you saw was a lie, a falsehood, something I wore as protection. She drew her hoof from my chest as if burnt, then very gently touched me again, as if only just now really seeing me. Wait, so this is actually you? This is your true form? This is the form I've had since I was hatched, or very close to it. The queen may have shaped me somewhat. I frowned, unable to process the confused blend of emotions rolling within the Pegasus as she stared at me. I tensed, preparing to leap away should she opt to attack me. I tensed, preparing to leap away should she opt to attack me. Yeah, fireworks! It's New Year's all around! It's a celebration! Bim, 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 bim. Bim, 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 bim. Woohoo! Bim, 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 bim. Everyone around the world, come on! Ugh, that was high notes. This is amazing! She bounced away, then trotted around me in a small circle. You're built like a pony, but with instinct feet. No, stop, 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 nope, stop. I had another enemy to my list. My software not listening to me. Oh gosh, I haven't saved my I haven't saved this in so long. Whew. This is great. This is so great. You're built like a pony, but with insect features. I've done a brief study of breezies, but they're mostly just tiny ponies with antennae and soft wings. You're more like an insect built to look like a pony instead of a pony shaped to be more like an insect. I've never seen anything like you. My confusion only grew. You have been bringing me water. You have been bringing me water. You have therefore seen me at least 3 days now. Instinct features. Yep. How do you think the changelings can do the instinct mode or predator mode or detective mode, whichever it's going to be called now? You have been bringing me water. You have therefore seen me for at least 3 days now. Huh. I guess that's true. I've been thinking you... Huh. I guess that's true. I've just been thinking of you as an alicorn under a curse. So you're not? That's fascinating. I'd have sworn you were until I was blue in the face. She darted in close, peering into my eyes. Do you see one image or multiple? I can't really tell if you have compound lens. No, stop. Do you see one image or multiple? I can't really tell if you have compound eyes. It looks as though you have a pupil under some sort of shell, so you weren't actually an alicorn. It was an illusion? Illusion? An illusion? Let's talk about this illusion. Man, we have been going up and down with the number of people watching. Our height was 8. So, yay! We got 8 people to watch me make a fool of myself. Oh, that's so bad. I love it. An illusion. An illusion. Ooh. An illusion? Someone has to make that joke when Idol's revealed to actually be a changeling to everyone else. So you're saying Idle Hooves is an illusion? Carlos. Oh. Thank you. Thank you for that wonderful pun. It's really made my new year. Oh, man. That's beautiful. That's so beautiful and wonderful. You, sir, gets me a cookie. Get 15 idle bucks. Yeah, 15 idle bucks. Peering into my eyes. Do you see one image or multiple? I can't really tell if you have compound eyes. It looks as though you have a pupil under some sort of shell, so you weren't actually an alicorn, it was an illusion? She went back to circling, and I began to feel something like prey. Well, no, I believe I actually took the shape. It was intended to be false. I do not think I could do that again, even if I willed it. I actually do not think I dare try. Hey, you said hatched. What are you? Ooh, equus tenip... Oh, no. Don't you dare throw... Oh, my gosh. No, no, no. Why? Why do you do this to me? Why do you do this to me, Drake? Thanks for the thumbs up, Jamie. Oh, no. Oh. Can I... Is there... No. Oh, how am I supposed to pronounce that? It's not even a real word. Even if it is, it's not on Google. There's Tibanande or Tamade. V, my dude. Tabanida. Equus tabanida. Equus tabanida has a really nice ring to it. What's a tabanida? Google saying, do you mean tabanide? Yeah, equus. Yeah, equus. Is there some other way people pronounce it? Okay. So equus tabanida. Well, I think it's still saying tabanide.
Tabanid.
Tabanida? I guess I'll pronounce it however I was going to pronounce it. Hatched. What are you? Ooh, equus tenip... Hatched. What are you? Ooh, equus tabanida. Oh, no. Drake, you better answer soon or else you're going to have no choice but to accept my poor pronunciation of it. Equus tabanida. Equus tabanida has a really nice ring to it. Hey, you said hatched. What are you? Ooh, equus tabanida has a really nice ring to it. I cut myself off again. Hey, you said hatched. What are you? Ooh, equus tabanida has a really nice ring to it. I am an excavation drone. I dig holes. Topaz stopped circling, giving me a hard look, then a little giggle, then a half smile. You're a little absolute, aren't you? What I meant was, what species are you? Oh no, she lost her vaguely Brit accent. This cannot stand. She must have a vaguely Brit accent. The universe demands it. Hey, you said... oh no. My lord? Hey, you said hatched. What are you? Ooh, Equus Tabanita has a really nice ring to it. There we go. There's slightly British. Slightly Brit. Hey, you said hatched. What are you? Ooh, Equus Tabanita has a really nice ring to it. Ring to it. I'm an excavation drone. I dig holes. Hi, I'm Idle. I like to dig holes. Hi, Idle. Topaz stopped circling me, giving me a hard look, and then a little... Topaz stopped circling me, giving me a hard look, then a little giggle, and a half smile. Topaz stopped circling, giving me a hard look, then a little giggle and a half smile. You're a little absolute, aren't you? What I meant was, what species are you? I tilted my head, mimicking her gesture out of habit. We are called Changelings. I would actually think you would have heard of us. Oh, those are a myth. Oh, those aren't a myth. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought they... Oh, those are a myth. Oh, those aren't a myth. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought they ate ponies, and they're not really supposed to be insects. They're fey ponies. What? No, that's disgusting. What? No, that is disgusting. And it was. I couldn't imagine eating a pony. Well, perhaps if it was already dead, and I was starving, which made me think that I would very much... And it was. I couldn't imagine eating a pony. Well, perhaps if it was already dead, and I was starving, which made me think that I would very much enjoy more broth. I do not know what a fey is. No, that is... You know, a fairy pony. Look, it's apparently wrong. You know, a fairy pony. Look, it's apparently wrong. She coughed. I've been feeding you potatoes and soup and onions, and all that seemed to be working just fine. Potatoes and soup and onions. Potato, Maybe I've been feeding you with potatoes with potato and onion soup? I don't know. That one's weird. That one's a weird one. I know. Any thoughts from all of you who are following this still? Hello? Is anybody there? Hola? ¿Cómo estás? Let's see. I've been feeding you potatoes and soup and onions, and all of it seems to be working just fine. So obviously they eat what ponies eat, which shows how little ponies actually knew. What do you mean I broke? What did I break? Is it... No, my microphone's working. What are you talking about? Did I press something? No, I'm still good. Yeah, what are you talking about I broke? for a confusing sentence, as well as emphasis on that. She coughed. She coughed. I've been feeding you potatoes and soup and onions, and all of it seems... I've been feeding you potatoes and soup and onions, and all that seems to be working just fine. So obviously you eat what ponies eat, which shows how little ponies actually know. What they actually know? I've been feeding you potatoes and soup and onions, and all that seems to be working just fine. So obviously you eat what ponies eat, which shows how little ponies actually know. What accent am I going into now? It's not vaguely Brit anymore. It's vaguely another language. I've been feeding you potatoes and soup and onions, and all that seems to be working just fine. So obviously you eat what ponies eat, which shows how little ponies actually know. Oh no, it's vaguely Irish. I do not want vaguely Irish. Vaguely Irish is good, but I'm saving that for a different character. Thank you very much. My lord, I've been feeding you potatoes and soup and onions. And onions? Oh no, that's even more British, isn't it? I've been feeding you potatoes and... Sign my potato. Sign my potato. Guess that movie is a great one. It's a classic. Not as good as the other ones, but really classic. I've been feeding you... Top of the morning to you laddies. Top of the morning to you laddies. I've been feeding you potatoes and soup and onions, and all that seems to be working just fine. Now she's no longer British. It's no longer vaguely British. You know, a fairy pony. Look, it's apparently wrong. I've been feeding you potatoes and soup and onions, and all that seems to be working just fine. So obviously you eat what ponies eat, which shows how little ponies actually know. I guess I'm sticking with vaguely British. I mean vaguely Irish, because I cannot get the British accent to work. I also supplement my diet with other insects, smaller ones, and snakes, other things. So that's not a smelly rope in the corner. Yep, she's vaguely British, Brit-Irish. That was to be my lunch before you arrived. That was to be my lunch before you arrived. That was to be lunch before you arrived. I watched her turn green and noted that this was far more interesting than attempting to hide my nature from all ponies. I watched her turn green and noticed that this was far more interesting. Oh. I watched her turn green and noticed that this was far more interesting than attempting to hide my nature from all ponies had been. I was concerned that I had made a poor choice. There was now a pony who knew my secret, but then I required immediate assistance, and she had provided it. I noticed that she placed the Queen's... Contractions! There we go. My secret, but then I required immediate assistance. And she had provided it. I noticed that she placed the I required immediate assistance, and she had provided it. I noticed that she had placed the Queen's crystals in a circle around me while I slept, and that their glow had faded almost completely. I prodded one with a hoof, and she looked from me. She looked from me to it and back. Ooh, that's a toughie. That's a toughie right there. That's a toughie, I should say. I got rich by being smarter than the smarties and tougher than the toughies. I run a multi-trillion-dollar business. It's just going to be more of this until people start talking again. Because if you just leave me to ramble on by myself, it's just going to be a crazy night, am I right? Oh no, we lost another one. I required immediate assistance, and she had provided it. I noticed that she had placed the queen's crystals in a circle around me while I slept, and that their glow had faded almost completely. I prodded one with a hoof, and she looked from me to it and back. I know, the craze is always on, and we only have a half hour till New Year's. I mean, like, I guess without Logan here or Habit, the chat's really slow without Habit and Logan with trolling everyone. Something came out of it. I pulled you all up. Something came out of it. I pulled you up in here. I prodded one with a hoof, and she looked from me to it and back. Something came out of it. Oh my gosh, no. Something came out of it. I pulled you up in here in case the manticore came back, and they all started shining more brightly on the sides facing you, so I thought you needed them for something. Something came out of it. I pulled you up here in case the manticore came back. No, she's not being Irish. No. I refuse to be Irish. Something came out of it, and I pulled you up here in case. Something came out of it. I pulled you up here in case the manticore came back, and they all started shining more brightly on the sides facing you. So I thought you needed them for something. Still Irish. No. My lord. I just need to channel the Yogscast and their slightly British accents. And sorted foods. Don't forget that one. Very fun channel with the fun cooking challenges. Hi, welcome to Sorted. Okay, there we go. Let's see if I can do a slightly British accent. Something came out of it. I pulled it. Something came out of it. I pulled you up here in case the manticore came back, and they all started shining. And they all started shining on the side facing you. Something came out of it. I pulled you up here in case the manticore came back, and they all started shining more brightly on this. And they all started shining. They're so shiny. Something came out of it. I pulled you up here in case the manticore came back, and they all started shining more brightly on the sides facing you, so I thought you needed them for something. The side facing myself? I thought on this. It would have been difficult for me to notice that, if true. Perhaps they had been some sort of healing crystal for our kind. Energy storage? I would toy with them, restore that shine perhaps. If that was their purpose, it would serve me well. Her hoof Her hoof prodded my flank. I spun, startled. Oh, sorry, no cutie mark. And you do seem to have an exoskeleton. Exco. A party rockers in the house tonight. This is what happens when I'm up. When you put me in front of people that are watching me, you just get me being crazy. This probably won't happen for another year. Much startlement this session, yes. They did me a you biased Jove, you did me a startle. Oh, sorry, no cutie mark. And you do seem to have an exoskeleton, but there's a little bit of a give to it. Not exactly a shell, more like a tough hide. Not bad at all. That was all messed up. Oh, sorry, no cutie mark. And you do seem to have an exoskeleton. Exoskeleton, not exco. Esco. Escargot. And you do seem to have an exoskeleton. You do seem to have an No, I can't do it. Why is that one the one tripping me up the most? I know how to say exoskeleton. 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 You do seem to have an Oh. Oh my gosh. Oh man, I don't know why that one's so hard. And you do seem to have an exoskeleton. Exoskeleton. And you do seem to have an exoskeleton. There we go. And you do seem to have an exoskeleton. Exo. 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 Escargot. Exo. 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 Oh my gosh. This is going to be a tough one. And you do seem to have an exoskeleton. Whew, that one's going to be a toughie. Oh, sorry, no cutie mark. And you do seem to have an exoskeleton. There's a little bit of a give to it. Not exactly a shell, more like a tough hide. Not bad at all. Oh, sorry, no cutie mark. And you do seem to have an exoskeleton. There's a little bit of a give to it. Not exactly a shell, more like a tough hide. Not bad at all. I'm just going to pass on that because I can't say exoskeleton. Oh my gosh, it's affecting me in the real world. No! This is pleasing to you? I was not sure I understood this pony in the least. I was not sure I understood this pony in the least, her emotions perhaps, but her attitudes and motivations were confusing me. As I understood, most ponies reacted to the sight of a changeling with fear and revulsion. Are you kidding me? I'm majoring in entomology. I stared at her. The study of bugs? I stared more. You're a big insect pony. You're the most fascinating thing I found since the multi-headed millipedes. Oh my! Since the multi-headed millipedes. Oh. You're a big insect pony. You're the most fascinating thing I found since the multi-headed millipedes. You have to let me study you. You're like a walking, talking source of wonder. Have to let me study you. You're like a walking, talking source of wonder. I can't do it. Oh, that was great. You're a big insect pony. You're the most fascinating thing I've found since the multi-headed millipedes. You have to let me study you. You're like a walking, talking source of wonder. You're like a walking, talking source of wonder. I don't know, does that sound female enough for everyone? Good? Good. You're like a walking, talking source of wonder. I do enjoy wonder, I admitted, tasting this emotion and finding it quite to my liking. And come on, this should be fun. Wouldn't you like to have someone to talk to? She started prancing in place, hopeful and excited at the prospect of having her own changeling research subject, apparently. Some small part of me was absolutely certain I would regret this. Then come on, this should be fun. Wouldn't you like having someone to talk to? She started prancing in place, hopeful and excited at the prospect of having her own changeling research subject. Yeah, very true. And don't you scare me like that again. I thought I mispronounced millipedes. But no, it's millipedes. Since the multi-headed millipedes, you have to let me study. Yep, there we go. Then come on, this should be fun. Wouldn't you like to have someone talking to you? Then come on, this could be fun. Wouldn't you like having someone to talk to? Oh. Then come on, this could be fun. Wouldn't you like having someone to talk to? She's starting to sound like not female in the slightest. Then come on, this could be fun. Wouldn't you like having someone to talk to? Wouldn't you like having someone to talk to? Then come on, this could be fun. Wouldn't you like having someone to talk to? She started prancing in place, hopeful and excited at the prospect of having her own changeling research subject, apparently. Some small part of me was absolutely certain that I would regret this. But I would enjoy companionship again. I truly would, and if nothing else, having someone around to keep my attention occupied would perhaps make... 15 minutes! 15 minutes! Until mountain time. But I would enjoy companionship again. I truly would, and if nothing else, having someone around to keep my attention occupied would perhaps keep me out of trouble, which seemed to trail after me like moths. I know, I'm almost there. I'm so close. But I would enjoy companionship again. I truly would, and if nothing else, having someone around to keep my attention occupied would perhaps keep me out of trouble, which seemed to trail after me like moths to a flame. Perhaps Zamir had been right. Idle hooves and all that. Oh, you're so close. Just change one letter, and boom! Well, technically change 2 letters, then boom. Booyah! Oh, man, and that was Chapter 9, Polite Fictions. Whew, boy. That was a great one. That was so good. And we define Topaz as slightly British, with a hint of Irish in her nature. Now, I do wonder... Tableau... I don't even know how to pronounce that next one. So I'm going to save that till next time. Oh gosh. Yes, what fun and all that. Tabula rasa. Tabula rasa. Tabula rasa. Is that how you say that? Tabula rasa. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Internet, can you help me? I pray to the internet gods that they can help us. Apparently it's a place in Salt Lake City. Oh, it means blank slate. Oh, that's fun. Very accurate.
Tabula rasa. Tabulae rasae. Tabula rasa.
Tabula rasa. Tabula rasa. Yep, that's how Merriam-Webster defines it as. So, that's how it shall be. Who is on the live stream currently? No one, apparently, except for myself. Man. I wish it would show me who's watching, because that would be great to just be like, Thank you, and danke. Thank you, and danke schön. Danke schön, darling, danke schön. Come on, show me. Show me. Really won't show me? I want you to show me. Oh well. Maybe another time. Yes, roll call. I know, 5 peeps. I don't know why, but my chat never shows who's watching me. Because I always feel like somebody's watching me. And I got no privacy. Oh, I always feel like somebody's watching me. They're playing tricks on me. Whoa. Let's see if another source can give me what I desire. That is, if my... Yep, there we go. If this will actually work. It's very old. Maybe? This stream has a 100% approval rating. I'm glad everyone's enjoying themselves. Let's see, well, show me on here. No, I can't see. Oh, that's too bad. That's really too bad. Oh well, that's for another day perhaps. So, I'm curious. Should I start on tabula rasa? Or start something else entirely? That is the question. We got 6 people. Woo! Thanks for whoever came back or is starting to watch this stream. We're deciding what to do now. Let's have a new Audacity project. What, you're not going to stay on here for when I'm going to be here for the Mountain Standard Time. I'm going to be celebrating with all my fellow semi-Midwesterners to Utah and not Arizona, because Arizona, oh well, maybe Arizona. Oh yeah, Arizona's weird. Just doesn't practice. It doesn't practice the thing that everyone else is practicing. Hey, Drake, you're still on here. Woo! Oh man, now only 4 people are watching. Are most of my attendees like Mountain Standard Time, Pacific, or Eastern? I'm curioso. I'm very curious. Curiouser and curiouser. Oh, that's true. Very true. Gotta support the fam, am I right? Who knows? We might be neighbors. Oh wait, no. You said you were down in Arizona. Why do you participate in what is it? Setting your hours forward. Daylight savings time, yeah. That's so weird, talking with someone just south of me, and they're like, "Oh no, we're an hour behind you." What? I mean, this is usually when I end streams, usually like 20 minutes earlier. But let's just do what we do. I guess that's true. I do hate setting the clocks. You will. Okay, stream might go down for a couple seconds. It's not my fault, I promise. Wait, can I just turn off this hotkey real quick? There we go. And I hope this does nothing that it shouldn't do. The file name is going to be 10. There we go. Tabula rasa. Boom. Chapter 10. Tabula rasa. Chapter 10. Tabula rasa. Is that how you pronounce that? Like, it says tabula rasa. Tabula rasa. Sounds like something that's weird and shouldn't be a thing. Gotta change this hotkey back. Okay, there we go. Just needed that to be fixed. Before I'm like, bye-bye. Tabula rasa. Rasa. Topaz was always an odd companion. My first days with her were subject to more prodding and poking than any pony could tolerate, and sometimes I caught her staring as though she was trying to reassure herself that I was real. I was almost... But I need a drink of water. Like, tabula rasa. Yeah. I think I got pretty much right. Got 5 minutes before the new year. And before the new year strikes, I am going to get just a little glass of water, please. Be right back. Ah! My chair. No. Okay, let's see if this will help. Ah! Not my mic. Tabula rasa. Tabula rasa. Tabula rasa? Yeah, I'll fix it in post. Tabula rasa. Tabula rasa. It's tabula rasa, not... It's tabula, not tubula rasa. She's a nightmare, honestly. Tabula rasa. Camp Tiki Hama. Ah, man, I have so much good material to use. I don't know what I'm going to use first. Fractal Man, no, you can watch on your on phone tube. How long ago was phone? Oh no. Hold on. Fractal Man, Fractal Man, do 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 do. Fractal Man. You can watch on phone too. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. 2 minutes remaining. Goodbye, 2018. Topaz was always an odd companion. My first days with her were subject to more prodding and poking than any pony could tolerate, and sometimes I caught her. Topaz was always an odd companion. My first days with her were subject to more poking and prodding than. Topaz was always an odd companion. My first days with her were subject to more prodding and poking than any pony could tolerate, and sometimes I caught her staring as though she was trying to reassure herself that I was real. And sometimes I caught her staring as though she was trying to reassure herself that I was real. It was almost embarrassing when I began to shed the outer layer of my chitin as the damage from the manticore slowly healed, as Topaz collected it with a sort of amused amazement, though to my relief she understood that prodding my new chitin would be unpleasant for me, if not damaging. Hold on. Oh man, 30 seconds. I'm more excited for this because it's my home state. My home time zone, I should say. People are already lighting off fireworks. Not yet. You have to wait 10 more seconds. Hold on, people outside. No more fireworks yet. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year to everyone in the mountainous time zone. Woo! And Happy New Year to my fam. Some of which were in the chat tonight. Thank you, Christy. And Happy New Year to everyone else that celebrates right now. Such as Anthony. Yeah, Anthony. Woo! Oh, man. Where are all the fireworks now? They went off the fireworks way beforehand. Yeah. Celebrate good times. Come on. Up. Time for this bit again. Woo. Woo. More stuff. Yes. I can only do this one more time. Man, I'm not even halfway through the bottle yet. Gonna be really fun for the next time. So. Booyah! A booyah, booyah, booyah. Ah! There we go. Why is this knotted up? If only I could open my windows so you can hear the fireworks. They're very slight and subtle. But they're happening right outside. And it was beautiful. Happy New Year. This celebration might go on a little bit longer. Woo! Is there any New Year songs I could hum instead of celebration? Because even though celebration is fantastic, there's gotta be one for ringing in the new year. Dun 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 do 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 woohoo! Dun 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 do do do. Everyone in mountain time. Come on. I do not know what that song is. I'm going to have to look it up because that is interesante. Oh, interesante. They say it's the most song in the world, but I've never heard of it before. How could I have not heard of it before? Oh, Days Gone By. So take your cup and raise it high, just as surely I'll do mine. We sing a song to all of them, and the tales of days gone by. For family not here, my dear, as we journey far and wide, for loyalty and kindness both, and the tales of days gone by. Our paths will cross again one day in time to reunite. For family is always near, even when the seas are white. So take your cup and raise it high, just as surely I'll do mine. For loyalty and kindness both, and the tales of days gone by. And the tales of days gone by. Yeah, that was a good one. I really liked it when they released on that one bit. So much fun. Okay. So, celebrations for the mountainous time zone draw to a close. We only have one time zone left remaining. And that time zone be Pacific. Very Pacific, if you know what I mean. So, let's get going, shall we? We have another hour until everything rolls around. Am I right? Right? Let's get started. Beyond that, the mare was insatiable in her study. Beyond that, the mare was insatiable. Oh, it's a movie. Nice. Insatiable. I got it right. I got it right. First time. Beyond that, the mare was insatiable. Beyond that, the mare was insatiable in her study of me, filling in some dozen pages in a notebook, pen held in mouth as she scribbled furiously. To my chagrin, I could not understand the point of her efforts at first, having only rarely seen subject of writing and always before able to call upon the hive's understanding of the letters. I was able to pick up on the symbols easily enough, though stringing them together was more of a struggle. At first I resisted because I felt that any idea worth being shared could be placed within the hive mind or told to another. But the idea of leaving a semi-permanent log of one's thoughts astounded me, and is probably the only reason I write to this day. That was messed up so many times. So but I'm just realizing this is that it's all a lie. This is all like Idlehoof's diary. This is Idlehoof's diary. Diary of an Idlehoof. No. Diary of a Changeling Guard. The Diaries of a Changeling Guard. The Memoirs of a Royal Guard. Oh, don't you worry. I have imbibed plenty of drinks for all the peeps on the chat. I love this Tempest glass. Great stuff. If you ever go to a con, the artist that does these is usually there. He's great stuff. Great stuff. You might also know him as the Coaster Man. He does great stuff. Fantastic things. And welcome back, Anthony. You missed the part where I was just realizing that this was all a journal of a royal guard. Man, imagine someone finding this journal because he forgets to put it away or something, reads all of this, and is like, ugh. And it's like, oh man, that'll be a great chapter. V, is that going to be a chapter? Is someone finding either his log or it has to be before the royal wedding, or if it is during the royal wedding? Come on, it's got to be so good. It's going to be so good. Beyond that, the mare was insatiable in her study of me, filling in some dozen pages of a notebook, pen held in mouth as she scribbled furiously. To my chagrin, ooh, that was a rough one. To my chagrin, I could not understand the point of her efforts at first, having only rarely seen subject. To my chagrin, I could not understand the point of her efforts at first. To my chagrin, I could not understand the efforts of... What? Oh my gosh. Oh. Oh man. Oh my gosh. Oh, that was beautiful. Oh man. Oh man. Oh, that was... Oh, hold on. Oh. Oh, man. That was so bad. That was so bad. Oh. Oh man. Poof. That was the Martinelli's. I guess I shook it up a little bit too much and it popped the lid off. What's funny is that's been sitting there for like 10 minutes now. And boom. Oh man, that's so good. Oh. Oh my gosh. That's too good. That is too good. Oh, absolutely. Just needed a little bit of breathing room. Oh man. Oh. That was so good. Was not expecting that at all. Oh my gosh, I need to find that cork really quick. Oh man. Oh, there it is. I can't believe that happened. That's never happened to me before. Poof. Don't you poof again. I need to save this all for Pacific's New Year's. Don't you dare pop, my boy. Don't you dare pop, my boy. We need you a little bit longer now, you hear? Oh man. Oh, nope. Don't you fall too. There we go. Oh man, my whole setup is falling around me. It's like that guy in Pirates 3 just walking down where all the cannonballs and the ship is flying around him. Oh man, that's what it's like right now. Oh man, great stuff. This is all fantastic. Oh, shall we try that again? Shall we try that one more time? To my chagrin, I could not understand the point of her efforts at first, having only rarely been subject to writing, and always before able to call upon. What? I think you haven't, and always before. You either need to take out before or add being, and always before being able to call upon the hive's understanding of the letters, or and always able to call upon the hive's understanding of the letters. Before being able. Boop. Gonna poke that. Just in case. Okay. Whew. That was fun. that was a fun moment. To my chagrin, I could not understand the point of her efforts at first, having only rarely been subject to their writing, and always before being able to call upon the hive's understanding of the letters. I was able to pick up on the symbols' meanings easily. Nope. To my chagrin, I could not understand the point of her efforts at first, having only rarely been subject to writing, and always before able to call upon the hive's understanding of the letters. I was able to pick up on the symbols easily enough, though stringing them together was more of a struggle. At first I resisted because I felt that any idea worth being shared could be placed within the hive mind or told to another, but the idea of leaving a semi-permanent log of one's thoughts astounded me, and is probably the only reason I write to this day. Topaz had, to my great interest, a more than passable skill at producing images on paper. Topaz had, to my great interest, a more than passable skill at producing images on paper. She showed me my own likeness, and it was likely the first time I had ever truly examined myself. There is no call for mirrors amongst changelings, and if we were able to desire change our appearance, we had only... Nope, that's all wrong. Topaz had, to my great interest, a more than passable skill at producing images on paper. She showed me my own likeness, and it was likely the first time I had ever truly examined myself. There is no call for mirrors amongst changelings, and if we were able... There is no call for mirrors amongst changelings, and if we were able... There is no call for mirrors amongst changelings, and if we were to desire to change our appearance, we had only to do so, though I do have to wonder how most of my kind would ensure that they were doing a passable job without examining themselves. Perhaps the ability to perfectly mimic a pony was one of the criteria of being chosen as a gatherer. Topaz had, to my great interest, a more than passable skill at producing images on paper. She showed me my own likeness, and it was more like... Topaz had, to my great interest, a more than passable skill at producing images on paper. She showed me my own likeness, and it was likely the first time I had ever truly examined myself. There is no call for mirrors amongst changelings, and if we were to desire to change our appearance, we had only to do so. And if we were to desire to change our appearance, we only had to do so, though I do have to wonder how most of my kind would ensure that they were doing a passable job without examining themselves. And if we were to desire to change our appearance, we only had to do so, though I do have to wonder how most of my kind would ensure that they were doing a passable job without examining themselves. Perhaps the ability to perfectly mimic a pony was one of the criteria of being chosen as a gatherer. I cannot help but feel that Topaz was disappointed in many of the answers to her. I cannot help but feel that Topaz was disappointed in many of the answers to her questions. I did not know what the average lifespan of a changeling was. I did not know how old the queen was. The idea of the queen having a predecessor had never before struck me. The idea of the queen having a predecessor had never before struck me, but it seemed grossly incorrect, and I told her so. I was very much unaware of the princesses a changeling I was very much unaware of the processes a changeling went through from birth. I was very much unaware of the processes a changeling went through from birth, though I did recorrect her that we laid eggs. When she suggested that the queen laid all of them, I actually laughed. I actually laughed. The queen does not lay eggs. What madness would that be? When Topaz explained how most insect societies worked and questioned why we even had a queen if not for that, it was... Oh man, this is getting shaky. This is getting shakier and shakier. What? Oh, thank goodness. Oh my gosh. I actually laughed. The queen does not lay eggs. What madness would that be? When Topaz explained how most insect societies worked and questioned why we even had a queen, if not for that, I was unable to truly answer beyond her. I was unable to truly answer her beyond because we do. She found my ability to convert emotion to food. She found my ability to convert emotion to food and fuel rather incredible, and we spent several nights of her working herself into one emotional state or another, and then having me identify and explain what I could use it for. Boom! Do do do. It's another typo. And then having me identify and explain what I could use it for, she tried huge fake sobs at one point to simulate sadness, but I was only able to sit there and stare at her dumbfounded. And then having me identify and explain what could I use it if for. And then having me identify and explain what could I use it for. And then having me identify and explain what could I use it for. She tried huge fake sobs at one point to simulate sadness, but I was only able to sit there and stare at her dumbfounded, as her allegedly emotional tantrum provided absolutely nothing. She stoutly informed me that she wasn't used to faking emotions, and she couldn't really think of anything to be legitimately sad about. I agreed that I found little enough to be troubling since her arrival, and we sat in silence for a long while after that. I agreed that I had found little enough to be troubling since her arrival, and we sat in silence for a long while after that. Topaz's saddlebags and personal gear had been mostly salvaged. Topaz's saddlebags and personal gear had been mostly savaged by the angry manticore. Several texts, all replaceable except her journal, which she managed to mostly salvage and wrap in a binding of another damaged text. A canteen was punctured, but repaired easily enough with a shell of my own making, though she was cautious to rinse it out many times before drinking. Her personal tent and sleeping roll, however, were completely rent upon repair. She lamented their loss until I informed her that Oh man, this is not going well, is it? Come on, only another half hour. Only another half hour until the last time zone passes. If I have anyone in Hawaii, sorry, I can't really do anything about that. She lamented their loss until I informed her that had she not been carrying them, it would likely have been her flank with the manticore's claws in it. Her scratches would heal nicely, but thin lines would always be present on her back and flanks for those who cared to notice such things. Though she professed relief that it had not marred her cutie mark, thankfully her wings seemed to have just been badly bruised, but enough to prevent her from flying more than a few minutes at a time. And she admitted that she could probably see a doctor back in Canterlot, just in case. Her limbs were sore, but mostly functional, and she pronounced herself travel-worthy in only a few days. That Don't worry if that sounded choppy and whatnot. I'll fix it in post. I can always fix it in post, unless it's a really bad reading. So we began to trek back to Canterlot, slowly making our way into So we began to trek back to Canterlot, slowly making our way into Equestria proper. The journey began well, but when I took the shape of one of my intended forms, the unicorn I had named Silverspell, she stared at me aghast. Silverspell? Really? Is it not suitable? Well, sure, if you want to be perceived as an intolerant bigot, I mean Silverspell! At my stare, she winced. Oh, right. Silverspell was a character from a famous play. She was obsessed with purity and made the life of her nephew an absolute nightmare because it was... Oh, right. Silverspell was a character from a famous play. She was obsessed with purity and made the life of her nephew an absolute nightmare because he was involved with a Pegasus. A play? Then if I understand, this character does not exist. It doesn't matter. If any pony named their foal in that last... It doesn't matter. If any pony named their foal that in the last 2 or 3 generations, it's news to me. I wouldn't do it. If any pony did, it would be a political nightmare. Over a character from one of these plays, I mused, quietly stunned. Oh, quite stunned. I mused, quite stunned. Besides that, it's like naming a Pegasus Cloudbrain or an Earth Pony Mudhoof or something else offensive. It breaks them down to a stereotype. And this is inappropriate. Would not being generic be more effective at blending in? And this is inappropriate? Would it not be... And this is inappropriate. Would not being generic be more effective at blending in? Oh my gosh, this is bad. And this is inappropriate. Would not be... And this is inappropriate. Would not being generic be more effective at blending in? What? Being generic amongst ponies? No, of course not. Wait, that's what you were going for? I thought this was what your people do. I am a tunneler. I do not... I am a tunneler. I do not gather energy, I mumbled a little sourly. Much of this is new to me. Okay, we're stopping here for the night. I think maybe I should look at what you're going to use. There is much time before... There is much time before... She lightly shoulder-checked me. I am not used to walking this far, and you need to show me some of these other forms. I'm telling you right now, lose this one. But the name... The name's only half of it. A pony like you will stick out like a badly bobbed tail. Besides, you can show off that rock-cutting skills of yours. The name's only half of it. A pony like you would stick out like a badly bobbed tail. Besides, you can show off that rock-cutting skills of yours. Ah, I cut myself off again. The name's only half of it. I started early. The name's only half of it. A pony like you would stick out like a badly bobbed tail. Besides, you can show off that rock-cutting skills of yours. It's not really a skill as much... It's not really... It is not really a skill as such, so much as a... Oh, come on, just show me again. Your hooves should be all chipped to pieces, and I want to see why they're not. Ah, I hardened them and shaped them to be more angular. Like a chisel! That's fantastic! I haven't really... Ooh. Like a chisel! That's fantastic! I hadn't even really considered that. I love how much easier it is to just ask for information instead of researching it for days trying to get a glimpse of how it actually works. How hard can you make them? Is it just your hooves or is your entire body? Can you? Like a chisel? That's fantastic! I haven't even... she's just getting more into that. The old man! The old Englishman! Although that's destroying my throat right now, so... Like a chisel? That's fantastic! I hadn't even really considered that. I love how much easier it is to just ask for information instead of researching it for days trying to get a glimpse of how it actually works. How hard can you make them? Is it just your hooves or is it your entire body? Can you... I know, right? It's so good. Roughly 2 hours later, I had managed... Oh... Ha... Roughly 2 hours later, I had managed to survive another unstoppable onslaught of a question. Whew. Roughly 2 hours later, I had managed to survive another unstoppable onslaught of questions from the curious mare, and I felt bolstered again. I truly enjoyed curiosity and indulged in it frequently myself. Her presence allowed me to explore... Her presence allowed me to explore the sensation in depth, which I found myself reveling in, now in the safety of a small hole in the side of the mountain. Her presence allowed me to explore the sensation in new depth, which I found myself reveling in. Now, in the safety of a small hole in the side of the mountains, Topaz began to inspect my new forms with a critical eye. She walked around me, investigating each, paying attention... Her presence allowed me to explore the sensation in depth, which I found myself reveling in, now in the safety of a small hole in the side of the... Oh my gosh. Her presence allowed me to explore the sensation in depth, which I found myself reveling in. Now in the safety of a small hole in the side of the mountains, Topaz began to inspect my new forms with a critical eye. She walked around me, investigating each, paying special attention to the cutie marks, wings, when I was Pegasi, and horn when I was a unicorn. Wings when I was a Pegasi, and horn when I was a unicorn. Wings when I was a Pegasi, and horn when I was a unicorn, though I had not practiced quite as much as I intended, I was quite sure she would find them. I really can't lie, they're all sorts of terrible. I mean, none of them are as bad as Silverspell, but none of them are very good either. They all look like they blend into the background. I can't really lie, they're all sorts of terrible. I mean, none of them are as bad as Silverspell, but none of them are very good either. They all look like they'd blend into the background. I couldn't quite help but feel disappointed, and yes, a little offended. Well, yes, of course they do. I don't want to be noticed, if you recall. And that's the problem! Ponies don't just blend into the background. We stick out, we're colorful, we're loud! If you aren't colorful like the rest... Then I'll be noticed, because I'm so unnoticeable. Exactly! What was your first pony name again? Sandy? At my grimace, she nodded. It stuck! You were different. Ponies talked about different. It started to wear thin. It's stuck. You are different. Ponies talk about different. It's harder to wear thin. I nodded, amazed by this new insight. So I must blend in by not blending in? That might be oversimplifying it a bit. Besides, there are other things to consider. Such as? I questioned, doffing my last form with some chagrin. Such as? I questioned, doffing my latest form with some chagrin. She prodded me with a hoof. Such as comfort. You said yourself. Ooh. Such as comfort. You said yourself that Sandy started to itch after a while. When she saw the beginning of a protest on my features, she raised a hoof. All right, not itch, but something. It didn't feel right. So wings or horn, which bothers you the least to hide? Wings are barely noticeable, but... All right, first step, hide your wings, please. I obeyed, flattening my wings against my back and covering them. Back. Wings against my back. And that is a typo. I obeyed, flattening my wings against my back. Yeah. I obeyed, flattening my wings against my back and covering them under a lip. I obeyed, flattening my wings against my back. Whew, that's... I obeyed, flattening my wings against my back and covering them under a bit of protective chitin. Now the horn! Don't get... Now the horn! Now the horn! Don't get me wrong, you don't make for a bad earth pony, but you need something you can wear almost non-stop. So I think the horn stays. I took a form of an average unicorn pony, basing its coloration off of Topaz's own. She blinked at that, then nodded, looking amused. It's like a weird mare. It's like a weird mare, unicorn stallion me. She shook her head, then continued. All right, your magic is green, so let's start with the eyes. Eyes? Eyes? What does magic have to do with... Fast and loose rule. A lot of ponies have magic the same color as their eyes. Heterochromia can mean having Fast and loose rule. A lot of ponies can have magic the same color as their eyes. Heterochromia can mean having magic that's two different colors, or magic that changes based on how you use it, or it could cycle between the two. It gets weird quick. Point is, green eyes, green magic. Most ponies will shrug it off as normal. Next, your mane. You've got a blue tint in your wings, but that little fringe is gray, and so is your tail. So I think we could go with a dual color scheme. Maybe a light blue streak if anyone... No, stop! Maybe a light blue streak. If any pony sees your wings, they might pass it off as their eyes playing tricks on them. I nodded, more than impressed. For the eyes, perhaps I should just leave them blue. Well, you could. It's really your decision. If someone... Well, you could. It's really your decision. If some pony gets a good look at your face without you being disguised, you've plucked your pin feathers anyway. I don't have feathers. No, it's not Sandy, please. I have explained that I dislike that name. Oh no. What? Interesting. That's weird. Hopefully it'll fix itself. And that's another thing. Your choices for names are, well, you're trying too hard to be unnoticed. They're so generic that they're embarrassing. Silverspell was a sort of acceptable, but it just had... Ah! That's because I turned off my desktop audio. It's turned back on now. Don't worry. I like that name. And that's another thing. And that's another thing. Your own choices for names are, well, you're trying too hard to be unnoticed. They're so generic that they're embarrassing. Silverspell was sort of acceptable. It just had poor social connotations, and that leaves the cutie mark. A symbol of maturity and your place among pony kind. A symbol of knowing what you can do that's special. A pony with a cutie mark for storytelling doesn't have to be a writer. They could be a journalist, or an artist, or a politician, or anything else that isn't related to that, and doing writing in their spare time. And do writing in their spare time. Having a special talent doesn't make you exceptionally prolific at it, unfortunately, or guarantee that you can do something really... Having a special talent doesn't make you exceptionally prolific at it, unfortunately, or guarantee that what you can do is really something some pony wants. The problem is, well, you're sort of assigning yourself special talents that really aren't... Well, you're sort of assigning... The problem is, well, you're... 15 minutes. 15 minutes. The problem is, well, you're sort of assigning yourself special talents that really aren't fitting for you. The problem is, well, you're sort of assigning yourself special talents that really aren't fitting for you. Someone asks Silverspell to cast a spell about, I don't know, lightning, and you can't? It would be really awkward. If Cloudy Skies gets asked to do weather patrol in a pinch and can't manipulate clouds very well... I begin to see your point. I must choose a talent more suitable for a pony that digs holes. Okay, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Oh my gosh. No, 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 no. You have to pick something you want to do. You have the excuse of practicing your special talents. You must want to do something. Go big. Emphasis on something. Hold on. No, 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 no. You have to pick something that you want to do. You have the excuse of practicing your special talent. You must want to do something. Go big. I am intrigued by architecture. I am intrigued by architecture. That's maybe too big. That's going to require training and apprenticeship and That's maybe too big. That's going to require training and an apprenticeship and possibly schooling to get accreditation. The yellow mare began peering around, then focusing on one of my small attempts to recreate the cup from the temple that I brought along. You've been making these, right? They're not too bad. The big flat one made a good table. I guess that's true. I am intrigued by architecture. I am intrigued by architecture. That's maybe too big. You're going to... I keep on wanting to go into an old man. That's maybe too big. That's going to require training and an apprenticeship and possibly schooling to get accreditation. The yellow mare began peering around, then focused on one of my small attempts to recreate the cup from the temple that I had brought along. Whew, that's a big one. The yellow mare began peering around, then focused on one of my small attempts to recreate the cup from the temple that I had brought along. Man, my voice, it's getting weary. It's getting weary from all this work. The yellow mare began peering around, then focused on one of my small attempts to recreate the cup from the temple that I had brought along. You've been making these, right? They're not too bad. The big one made a good flat table. You've been making these, right? They're not too bad. The big flat one made a good table. I considered, then decided that I would find the cup to be an acceptable cutie mark. I practically dreamt of the thing, duplicating it with near perfection on my flank. I considered, then decided that I would find the cup to be an acceptable cutie mark. I practically dreamt of the thing. Duplicating it with near perfection on my flank would be much easier than trying to recall the precise shape of the lightning bolt I was using for Silver Spell. Oh my gosh. I considered, then decided that I would... this sentence. I considered, then decided that I would find the mark to be I considered, then decided that I would find the cup to be an acceptable cutie mark. I practically dreamt of the thing. Duplicating it with near perfection on my flank would be much easier than trying to recall the precise shape of the lightning bolt I was using for Silver Spell. Now that looks good. A golden goblet. You could claim that you're interested in recreating ancient... Now that looks good. A golden goblet. You could claim you're interested in creating ancient artifacts. It's about the sort of thing you don't actually... Now that looks good. A golden goblet. You could claim you're interested in recreating ancient artifacts. It's the sort of thing you don't actually have to know a lot about. This was entirely reasonable. If anything, it sounded quite interesting. And ponies would find that of worth? Well, maybe, but if not, we can find you something to make a few bits. And that'll help. I mean, I'm not about to let you run off alone in Canterlot. I needed to document all of this. A changeling's integration into pony society. I don't know how I feel about that. Don't worry about it. I won't publish it for years. Don't worry about it. I won't publish for years and years. This is a long-term study. Heck, I could make you a research assistant. Then I'd be able to get you some pay. Not really much because it's meant to be more for ponies going to school. Whew. Don't worry about it. It won't Don't worry about it. I won't publish for years and years. This is a long-term study. Heck, I could make you a research assistant, and then I'd be able to get you some pay. Not really much, because it's really meant for ponies going to school and needing a couple bits to get by and needing on-the-job experience more than money. Now, how about a good name? Maybe something to do with a cup. Gilded Goblet? We're going to stay away far from... We're going to stay away from anything that sounds like that first word. You'll thank me for that later. I sighed, feeling annoyed. This was complicated business, and talking of the cup disappointed me. I still could not believe I had dropped the thing. I distractedly drew it and the ledge it had sat on in my dirt. I sighed, feeling annoyed. This was complicated business, and talking of the cup disappointed me. I still could not believe I had dropped the thing. I distractedly drew it and the ledge it had sat on in the dirt at my hooves. What was that? Some sort of altar? It was a stone in the midst of a room. The cup sat on it, in the center. You know, I'm starting to think your explanation of that was lacking in some details. You said the buildings are to fall in? What? You know, I'm starting to think your explanation of that was lacking some details. You said the buildings are to fall in. Was that right after you got the cup? Yes, perhaps age had weakened it. Did the altar happen to, oh, I don't know, move at all when you took the cup? Yes, of course, and then the rest began to... She started snickering at me. Yes, of course, and then the rest began to... She started snickering at me. What? Oh, no, nothing. You just waltzed in, stole a priceless idol from a dead temple, and strolled right back out, not a care in the world, and the whole place just kept trying to kill you. Kept trying... Oh, no, nothing. Oh, no, nothing. You just waltzed in, stole a priceless idol from a dead temple, and strolled right back out, not a care in the world, and the whole place just kept trying to kill you. A priceless idol? I frowned, not understanding why inactivity would be priceless. Worthless, perhaps, but priceless? Idol, not idol. Oh. Idol, not idol. It means something held in reverence, respect. Zamir's saying came back to me, and I couldn't help but smile. Then idle hooves got me into as much trouble as idle hooves have. Topaz's head came up. Idle hooves? Hey, I like it. Idle hooves. I blinked. Idle hooves? Well, you're always getting to some sort of trouble, right? It fits you like a good shoe. I rolled it around in my head, shifting my form to fully fit Topaz's suggestion, the green eyes, the gray and blue mane, and the lack of wings, then looking back to look at the goblet on my flank. The name fit, not only fit, but fit comfortably. He said it! He said it! Got 6 minutes until it rolls over. Woo! I rolled it around in my head, shifting my form to fully fit Topaz's instructions, the green eyes, the gray and blue mane, the lack of wings, then looking back to look at the goblet on my flank. The name fit, not only fit, but fit comfortably. For the first time in my life, I had a name that I could think I could... I can't... It's supposed to be glorious and I can't keep on messing it up. I rolled it around in my head, shifting my form to fully fit Topaz's instructions. I rolled it around in my head, shifting it to... I rolled it around in my head, shifting my form to fully fit Topaz's suggestions, the green eyes, the gray-blue mane, and the lack of wings, then looking back to look at the goblet on my flank. The name fit, not only fit, but fit comfortably. Not only fit, but fit comfortably. For the first time in my life, I had a name that I could think I could live. For the first time in my life, I had a name that I could think... The name fit. Not only fit, but fit comfortably. For the first time in my life, I had a name that I could think about it in relation to myself. My name is Idle Hooves. Save now! It's the final idol. Whew. The blanket's falling around. Well, I know I said I would stay to... victory dance, yay! 2 chapters in one. Yeah, this is going to make a great backlog. There's still going to be a chapter on Wednesday. I won't read Nick on that deal. Got my chair. I'll be right back, though. I gotta take care of something. Hey, it's not roll credits yet. We still have to celebrate what? We still have to celebrate Pacific Standard Time. Don't worry. But yes, roll credits. Oh man. He said it. He said it. Oh man. Man, this was certainly a long stream, wasn't it? Wasn't it, guys? Let's see. And Happy New Year to everyone on the Pacific Standard Time. Woo! Let's get that volatile cork back in. Let's get this volatile bomb back in here. Woo! Hold on. That wasn't really much of a thing. Whew! That was a lot. Oh, man. You gotta have the poof. Oh, man. This is great. This is a great life. This was a fantastic idea. Too bad not everyone could make it. We're so sorry that you couldn't. But it was great nonetheless. Nonetheless. Although technically it's not roll credits yet because his name isn't Changeling of the Guard. Yeah. It's just semantics, but oh well. Oh man. We celebrated through 4 time zones. Oh man, this was great. Great stuff. Great stuff all around. Woohoo! I think Topaz's voice, I think I might have to do redo Topaz's voice if I do this chapter again, because it started sounding like this. And this is not what I want her to sound like. I want her to sound like this. Possibly. I don't know. But definitely not this. This is terrible for her. A toast to the new year, and to everyone still watching. And yes, there will be a live stream. I mean, live stream schedule will resume next week. The regular live stream schedule will resume next week, and there will be a chapter out on Wednesday. It's already edited, and it's just waiting to be released. And yes, I've not been telling anyone about when I'm releasing episodes, mainly because I'm still asleep when they come out. Because I want people to enjoy, watch, and talk about it before I wake up. I don't know why. It's just kind of fit like that. So, anyway, if there's nothing further to add, I think we'll end the stream right here. Happy New Year, everyone, and let's hope 2019 will be a lot better than 2018. Let's cross our fingers. Okay, you have a good night. Bye!